We still have a few more of these black oak logs to mill up. I think some people are confusing this California black oak as being the same as eastern black oak, or the black oak that grows in the eastern part of the US. These are different trees. California black oak is only native to Oregon and California. Not to say there couldn't be a few black oak that have spilled over on the east side of the Sierras into Nevada. But they don't grow in the eastern US unless somebody planted some somewhere. I've had a lot of good comments on the last couple black oak videos. Comments have ranged from don't bother with black oak, the only thing it's good for is firewood, to this is going to make some beautiful furniture. Or we milled up some black oak we had and we loved it. Don't bother with the sapwood, these logs are too small to make lumber out of. With all the differences in opinions, who do you believe? I find that to be the case in a lot of areas of life. With all the opinions, who do you believe? I don't have any expectations for this lumber. I'm not expecting to make $1 million selling black oak lumber or really have any plans for it. We're just experimenting here. I've never milled black oak before. I've cut a lot of it into firewood and I've always wondered, what does the lumber look like? Is the lumber any good? Well, that's what we're trying to find out here. We're just doing the experiment here so we can all find out what this is like together. Worst case, if it ends up being junk, I'll end up with some lumber-shaped good firewood that I won't have to split because it's already been cut. We try to center the pith, but with this one, on this side, it's off-center. On this side, most of the log is going to be pith. Maybe this one should be firewood, but one way to find out, do the experiment. I started some of the first cuts deep because it's a crooked log, and someone said in the comments, treat the sapwood like it's bark. I like the look of the contrast between the sapwood and the heartwood, but I think they might have been right about that. I got some sapwood pieces out of the flitches. Well, we'll find out maybe why we don't want to do that, or if we do want to do that. Since we have some teetering going on with the cant, I flipped it over. We'll true up the top of it, take the next couple boards off, and let the pith part be the warped part. Black oak can have some really good looking end grain. I remember junior high woodshop class, someone brought in a bunch of black oak cookies, maybe 2 inches thick. Kids would polish up the face of it, attach some clock apparatus, and they'd make wall clocks out of them. Those looked really nice. These smaller black oak logs might be better for something like that. If you were to cut these into 2-3 inch thick cookies, how would you keep those from cracking too much? I don't remember if the ones back then were cracked or not. They might have been filling in the cracks with wood filler. I can't remember. But I do remember they looked really nice when they were done. I tried to forget a lot of things about school. In the previous oak video, I think I said something like, I think the smell of black oak has to grow on you. So far, it's not working. It's not growing on me. I've cut a lot of black oak firewood. I've known it had a little bit of a funky smell to it, but when you cut it into lumber and make all this sawdust, it really brings out that funky smell. It's not pleasant. Someone said in the comments the smell reminds them of vomit. I'm not going to argue with that. It's not a nice smell. Pretty wood, I think a lot of that smell will go away when it dries, but when it's green, I'm looking forward to getting all this out of here so I don't have to smell that anymore. Get back to fir and pine. These logs are a little bit small to efficiently quarter saw, but I could get some quarter sawn narrow pieces out of this spot. Hardly worth doing for those small boards, but just for fun, let's do it. Those other boards were 1 inch thick. On this little bit bigger log, maybe we can get some 2-inch. Actually, I should say the first ones were 4/4. See if we can get some 8/4. Got to use the right lingo now that we're milling hardwood logs. I'll get all that lumber stackered, put some weight on it to dry, see if it dries straight or twists into some twisty thing. I bet there's somebody out there thinking, he should have painted the ends of those with anchor seal. Then the next question is, what am I going to do with this butt log? I'm not going to be able to get to it today. I've had some suggestion that I quarter saw some of this oak. This one is the largest log, and it's 13 inches that way, 12 inches that way, which I think is amazing. This tree that was 114 feet tall is only 12 inches diameter, 9 feet from the ground. That was a tall, thin tree. I think it's a little small to efficiently get much good quarter sawn material out of. And the butt end has all this cracking in it, which was there when it was fresh cut. That's not just checking from drying. I don't know how far those cracks go up. That last log I milled, some of the lumber that came out of that was really clear. This butt log probably has some really clear lumber in it. Everything else I cut into either 4/4 and a little bit of 8/4. What other dimensions do you think would be good to cut out of a log like this? Or should it just be firewood? Let me know in the comments, what do you think I should do with this log? The heart is way off center. That can make a log sus to begin with. We still have a few more of these black oak logs. I think, I think, I think, I think, I think. Yeah, this one probably should be firewood. On the last one, I saved some sappy pieces out of the heartwood. No, not out of the heartwood, out of the flitches, the opposite of the heartwood. Saved some sapwood out of the heartwood. That makes no sense. I saved some sapwood pizzas.